Polish side not only have bested defending world champions SK Gaming, now they've gone and really laid down the law on their map, Cobblestone. It's a best of 3 here at ESL 1 New York. The grand finals are going into their second map. No doubt the Barclays Center is ready, as is our desk, to tell you exactly why you should be getting excited for Train, our second map in this best of 3. Duncan Thorin Shields and Yanko YNK presiding. Gentlemen, Train. We haven't got an abundance of time, but we do want to make sure we can really cover all of the bases. Duncan, we'll start with you. Train, infamously good for both. So my question to you, albeit a little premature, do we see a third?
That's the thing. It's certainly possible still. Like, this is a map. I mean, it's obviously NaVi's pick. And 3 months ago, both teams were picking this map first, actually. Both really liked it. I know VP still likes it. It's just, you know, there have been games in this tournament where it hasn't looked like the best for them. But I have to say, they already would have felt like, we're going to take Cobble and then we'll have our chances on Train. But the confidence has to be absolutely sky high after that. I mean, essentially everything worked on that last map. The rounds where they actually did the correct thing, they won. The rounds where they were in impossible situations, they won. Meanwhile, for NaVi, I mean, I think what showed it all was that look on C's face after they lost, like, the Eco, which was like 2 rounds after they did the pistol. Yeah. He had that look where he tried to play it off like, what's going on here? But the level of tilt behind his eyes was unreal. Like, he did that so that he didn't just like smash the computer and like throw it in Flamey's head or something. So
crying inside, of course.
They haven't had a whole lot of time here, but they better have mentally reset, and they better play their game this time, because they had nothing for a Virtus.Pro on Cobblestone.
And I think actually the mental side is where our discussion should stay. Excuse me, words are escaping me. That's the mental side for me. But, I mean, NaVi, is this a team in their current form, Yanko, that actually do have the capacity to, you know, forget about Cobblestone?
I think so, because you look at that loss and you're looking back on it, you say, guys, we didn't even have a chance in that game. We didn't even get into it. We just got swept off the server. But it wasn't our pick. It's our weakest map out of the 3 that are in the pool. So, as I said, it's the best map that it could happen on, right?
Yes.
Now moving into Train, yes, they start on the T side, but I actually think that's a good thing for NaVi, considering the circumstances, right? Because if VP starts as T, that gives them the chance to dictate the pace of the game still. And seeing how they're on fire, that would have probably went wrong for NaVi. You know, the other flip of the coin is obviously CT side. If you're hot individually, you can put a stop to NaVi's offense. But I feel that NaVi just needs to reset now, get off to a good start, and that will cool off VP a bit. They will say, okay, we won Cobble, but the series isn't over yet. We still need to beat them on one of the remaining 2 maps.
I mean, the way in which they finished the semi-final, Virtus.Pro, of course, picking up that nuke victory, to the surprise of many, against SK of all teams. Now they've gone and just done this on Cobblestone. Duncan, would this be a big step for Virtus.Pro into being crowned the current, and of course using your format of 3 months, current world's best team?
I mean, top 2 already is pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty solid placing to add in some consistency. Obviously, they had the slip-up at Starlighter, but aside from that, they're winning, they're making finals. This is great stuff, whereas SK slipping here, that immediately kind of like degrades them a little bit, because those old wins, some of them were months ago. So I actually feel like if they win, I feel like they're going to lock it in. I'd have to look over the details, but they've got a lot of wins over big teams. Obviously, they just beat SK, #1 in a best of 3. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, it's not like NaVi right now can contend for that spot. They're just trying to get to where Virtus.Pro is, like be a genuine contender, be a team who is going to be there every time and is a real threat. That's the key thing. It's not enough to make finals. You've got to be a threat to win them as well. At the moment, first map, NaVi wasn't a threat.
And my big question, you've been probably dreading this, but I need to ask, do you think VP will end it here, right now in the Big Apple?
I do, actually. I mean, I don't think they're going to be as emphatic as they were on that map. That's probably too much to expect. I think this should be a back-and-forth dogfight, but this just looks like VP's tournament to win. They're in that mode that you want to see them in.
We hate the comparison, the metaphor, but the plow is most definitely up and running into this series, Yanko.
I think that Simple is a bit angry, and I think NaVi still has that fire in them, still has some flair to get things rolling on the T side initially, and I feel that they will be able to grind a win here, and that we'll see a third map.
I would just want to see more fantastic Counter-Strike. We saw what they were made of on Cobblestone, and now we do dive into the other team's pick. It's going to be NaVi on Train to try and take us into a third. We'll see how it plays out with your casters Henry G and Sadakist.
Live.
Well, all right, well, we are going to get back into this one as we jump immediately into this. So, to start it off, Henry, VP, huge round, huge map.
Yeah.
On Cobble, and now we get into Train. Now, they're very good on Train, yes, but they do have the tactical execution on this map more than any other, perhaps, from NaVi. And pistol round to start it off. Neo's going to be the utility player Bialy pushes, goes down to Seized early on. Guardian as well has one smoke to work with.
Here we go then. First kill has been obtained, so that was Bialy going aggressive towards A main, pushing through, trying to get behind them. We thought it might be an inside push there, but now that has bought NaVi some time. This is their bread and butter, getting that man advantage and then working towards their execution. They still have a smoke available. Most teams will favour towards the inside side of the pistol. You see Taz trying to reclaim a kill in towards inside, but Simple, he deals with him pretty easily there. Now it's a 5-on-3, and they should be aiming towards A. That's where the bomb is, towards that Ivy area. And the CTs don't really have much information to work with at all. As Neo gets the first exchange here, he's going to be taking him down, but I'm sure that's going to be the cue for NaVi to make their way out towards Ivy here.
And they're going to wrap around. Neo's going to greet them, but he's low on HP. 22 to work with, no armor as well. Smoke to try and segregate him, but unfortunately that's not going to do much. He's managed to stay alive quite well. Nearly had the crosshair lineup for that.
For NaVi, displaying a nice slow round at the start there, holding for any initial aggression. It did come in. Bialy pushing towards that main entrance position. He gets taken down, then NaVi just capitalize at that point. Simple finds a kill towards the upper halls, and then all they have to do is stick together. They go towards the backtracks of Ivy and manage to lock it down for CD spawn. So a good start, but a nice force fight coming in from Virtus.Pro here. We're going to have the scout in the hands of Neo. Some great pistols, of course, as well. Desert Eagles, CZs, and we need NaVi to win this one. Surely just to get the 3-0, get something to work with here. They can't be anti-egoed again.
Well, Taz is brilliant normally inside of this B site. But with a pistol, we'll have to wait to see if that brilliance will flare up later. As he's already tagged down to 19. Pasha as well gone at the hands of Seized. Ladder, the approach, Pop Dog down, split out of the A site from both of the main choke points. No one so far pushing into Ivy from NaVi, and we know Virtus.Pro very much likes to utilize that position both CT side and on their T side. But all the kills coming forward, Bialy does get two headshots with the Deagle as well. Very convincing fashion. To bring it back to a 3 versus 3, there's low HP, low enough on Guardian to be one-shotted at least from that scout, but it's Simple instead that will take Neo down. Systematically starting to clear inside of the site. Lineup for Simple, 6 HP. Can't afford to go down on this just yet because Taz is wrapping in. Thankfully, Guardian's got that covered off with the AK. No more Deagle shots found. Simple will get the shot immediately from the UMP, and it's 2-0 for NaVi.
Oh, Bialy does find a couple of kills, but that's the round we wanted there. NaVi get the 2-0, and they can breathe easy going into round number 3 here. It's going to be the full eco from Virtus.Pro. Don't really have to invest too much in this round. A couple of PT50s, that'll be just about it. So NaVi can keep the SMGs, of course. You can see Seized. He's got the MAC-10, a UMP in the hands of Simple. Just going to try and farm some cash here. Guardian's actually going to be sticking on the USP completely. He wants to be not spending a single penny going into this round. Maybe get a couple of kills with that weapon, then bring the AWP out in that first gun round. We'll see the cash for Snacks as well. Obviously, he'll be the AWP over here on Train as well. He's actually got 3,300, so he'll be fine going into the next round. As we have the Ivy plate coming in. It's actually going to be an A split with the players from Pop as well.
It could even be a B split with this stack because they smoked off toward the third alley. The old bomb train, though, Taz is going to spot Simple through it. That's going to be the invitation to go on B, but they've lost the split potential. It leaves Seized far removed from this as he's got to rotate all the way back through T-spawn. Flamey does stop the rotation on ladder, which means the immediate flank taken down, and Seized will greet Neo on the way by. One less to deal with in the post plant. But the UMP still up on Pasha right now is going to make its way toward the back of CT, bottom ramp. Doesn't exactly have range, though, against the head armor. Yes, okay, it's the highest penetration of any SMG, but it's a tough ask and a tough order from that position. It may even be something they consider just to look for exits with and carry into the next round on the CT side. We know you can't really afford investment, in the third if you want to buy in the fourth. So now with the second SMG, but they do push forward. Guardian and Edward there. That could have been justified to go for the early save. They won't. They want guns down. They want to force reinvestment. Either way, it's going to be NaVi. The 3-0 start that you, Henry, said they very much needed.
So let's talk about Cobble, right? We kind of speculated at the start. They probably weren't going to win it, but I thought they needed a decent game. They get some rounds that were convincing and actually felt like it was a competitive game. We didn't get that. I thought that would be detrimental, but this is a good start. Obviously, it's 1-0, but still, this is their map pick, and they're looking to take it to a third here. So 3-0, that's perfect. They're on the less favored side, on the Terrorist, of course, but it's where things really start to get difficult as we get to our first gun round. Snacks bringing out that AWP, and we know what kind of form he's in right now. The good news for NaVi is after that force buy in the second, Virtus.Pro are limited. Not a single kit there, limited with just 2 smokes, only 1 incendiary. So it's going to be a brawl on their side of the pitch. But here we go, maybe a fast play coming from NaVi. They actually get towards Pop Dog very quickly there. Bomb is still towards A main, but the rest of the teammates actually be working towards Brown Halls here and seeing whether they can get that first pick. Guardian is looking towards upper. But none of the CTs fully committed just yet. Quite a passive hold from them to kick things off here.
Flash down from Guardian. Smoke still not fully dissolved. It's just gone so now. Oh, that crosshair placement. The wooden.
Did he hit him?
Dear God, I thought he did.
Touched.
I don't think he was touched by an AWP through a wooden board. No, that thing does way more. Unless it clipped the edge of the train, but I think he must have been tagged by the nade that went down, so.
I'm not sure. I think it might have done. I don't know.
Well, either way. It's okay, Henry. You don't have to know everything. You're normally spot on. Simple's going to go out nade. Does leave a gap so we can check below the ladder. No one to catch them off from the Spool's position, and he's got slight vision on toward the bomb site itself, but he's the one that's holding for the rotations because NaVi's elected to go back toward the A site. Instead, it's going to be shut down by Bialy, who's got the shot into Flaming. He's trying to dance around. Pasha comes back out from quad. The sandwich position, but it's going to be Snacks instead with the AWP to find Edward, and that's going to force them back again. NaVi can't penetrate through to the A site, and as they still have to find a man to equalize the situation, they're bleeding out. 25-35, 4 is the HP for Seized, Simple, and Guardian, respectively. And Simple's gone forward enough in the B site that he can hold them off long enough to at least get a bomb plant out of this for NaVi. And remember, they do have the chance to reset at 3-1, but he's going to potentially find more. Neil, is he going to be ready for this position? Crosshairs there, but he can't land it. Neil manages the jump. That could have swayed the entire round as he spotted Taz coming in from the CT spawn as well. Sees bottom ladder, though, does see a gun barrel. That's one shot for him. Tries to evade the second. Can hear him above. He's got it as well. There's a chance, but Snacks comes in just barely, but with the timing from behind. Guardian has the high ground, but he's the one defusing, not the one defending, and it's going to be Snacks holding him off, and Taz is there, as we mentioned, on the defuse already.
We needed a bit of Guardian magic there. He has 2 opportunities to pull the trigger and land the first shot. If he gets that kill, he's in a fantastic position there. The city doesn't have a kit. He's going to have a lot of pressure. No utility to work with either, and Guardian, he's been pretty lackluster so far in this grand final. Hasn't had the best tournament overall. And he can't find that first shot, and Virtus.Pro do pick up the first gun round there as Bialy from the Pop Dog area managing to get that first kill, and NaVi just fell apart at that point. Not so much in kills, but the damage inflicted at the start of the round just couldn't really have much to work with there. Inside does not work out for them, but they still have residual cash as we go into round number 5 here. Still in the AWP. And we'll see whether their teammates with the 4 AKs can step up here. Snacks does recover the AWP himself, and Flashbang's coming in. We'll see what kind of setup comes in from the CTs. It'll be Taz by himself, famed for being so strong in this position. There was a small period where he was removed. They swapped it around, but he's back.